Optimizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you
need.
Liberty bibbity.
Hi.
Liberty. Are we married to mutual? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
No matter what type of dog you have or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
Our Jamie and Corinne Fox exclusive gets wild why they're taking Beat Shazam overseas.
Tip of the mountain to your glory be to God. We're going to Ireland.
I mean,
he's wild enough in America. I can't even imagine going.
The Irish accent is everything.
Top of the morning. We leave you now with our pals over at the neighborhood. Actually, our neighbors as well. Cedric the Entertainer pulling double duty on set tonight. Night,
Take care,
everybody.
It's been a transition for all of us from
Happening now.
A murder trial in the 290th District Court continuing today. The defendant taking the stand, but not in front of the jury. We'll explain coming up.
Today, President Biden signing a law that is intended to protect sleeping babies. Coming up next, what parents need to know about the baby products that may not be on the market any longer.
Don't be surprised if a few more record high temperatures fall in the days ahead before our next little cold front arrives. I'll let you know what kind of relief that could mean from the heat in just a bit. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, a teenager shot in a West Side neighborhood.
Yeah, it all happened over on Greenside Road, not far from Callahan and Ingram. That's where we find our RJ Marquez. He joins us live. RJ, I understand a 15-year-old has died in this shooting.
That's right, Tim and Ursula. That was news that was just given to us right now by Chief William McManus, who made his way onto the scene here about 30 minutes ago. And as we said, another young teen dead here in San Antonio due to gun violence. Very sad situation. We'll hear a little bit from Chief McManus talking about just gun violence in just a little bit. But basically, this neighborhood, guys, is right in between Culebra and Callahan roads. And what we were told is that this was initially a meeting between teens, and obviously it ended up with this one victim dead. And currently 2 teens that are being held by police. They did not go as far as saying that this was a suspect in any way, just 2 teens that are being questioned and held by police right now. So police initially received a call for shots fired in the 2000 block of Alston right after 3 p.m. this afternoon. And this victim, we're told that he left his house. He actually lives in this neighborhood, so he's someone that's known to the neighborhood. We're told that he's left his house to meet someone, and then that's where an argument happened in the middle of the street, and the victim was shot and basically left for dead on the road here. Earlier, police said that his brother told him that he was going to go talk to someone about money. Chief William McManus said that there was an issue regarding money, but did not give us very much details on that situation, how the argument went down. But the chief did make a mention of just the amount of gun violence that has been taking place over the past couple of weeks and months. Let's go ahead and hear what Chief William McManus had to say.
We've got a young man that went to meet somebody, an altercation developed, and he was shot, which is happening way too often in the city here. People are settling disputes, whatever the dispute may be, with gunfire.
Yeah, the chief there just talking with us a little while ago about this shooting. And again, a 15-year-old boy is dead here. And guys, just to let you guys know, this shooting happened literally down the street from a couple of schools that were placed on modified lockdown. That would be Sol Ross Middle School and Esparza. So both schools, again, on modified lockdown. And we're told that one of those schools here, Sol Ross, has actually been let go, but the other one, Esparza, was still in that lockdown for the moment. That means that parents had to come actually get kids out of their area. So we will continue to follow this shooting and give you the very latest as it becomes available to us. Reporting from the West Side, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, RJ. Not once, but twice, a man on trial for murder went off-grid when he took off his GPS monitor when he was out on bond. Now David Hinojosa is on trial for shooting and killing a man in 2017.
His attorneys today trying to have any evidence of him being a flight risk not mentioned in front of the jury. Erica Hernandez was in the courtroom as a hearing took place without the jury present, and she explains what happened.
In May 2018 and again in February 2020, David Hinojosa took his GPS monitor off while out on bond. Hinojosa in 2017 was arrested for the murder of Joseph Torres. Torres was shot and killed outside a Southeast Side bar. Today, Hinojosa's attorneys filed a motion to have any mention of the two incidences not be used by the prosecution during trial. A hearing took place without the jury present, and Hinojosa took the stand to explain to 290th District Judge Jennifer Peña the reasons why he fled.
I got into an argument with my girlfriend at the time, and she threatened to call the police, so I figured I was going to jail, you know what I mean, and I decided to cut the monitor off rather than go at that moment.
He says he was going to turn himself in, but first wanted to take his kids to Corpus Christi and a quick trip to Houston. After those trips, he was arrested. As for the second time, he explained he was getting threats and needed to get away for his and his family's safety.
I was having problems over there at my mother's as far as like people going by there, and I had reason to believe they were either friends or relatives of the deceased. So I didn't want to be a reason that, my mother or my sister or anything like that received any type of, harm.
Defense attorneys argued that he never had any intention of fleeing the country and wasn't a threat, but that argument wasn't enough. In the end, Judge Peña denied the motion by the defense and will now allow any evidence presented by the state showing Hinojosa as a flight risk in trial. At the Kidana Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, a sergeant with the Bernie Police Department facing domestic violence charges. This is Pablo Morales. The 33-year-old was arrested this morning on a charge of assault causing bodily injury, family violence. Details of his arrest are unclear at the moment. Sergeant Morales is currently free on a $3,000 bond.
An update now on a fatal motorcycle crash from yesterday. The victim, now identified as 48-year-old John De La Garza. He crashed early yesterday morning along Highway 281 at Hildebrand. San Antonio police say he didn't turn correctly around a curve and then hit a wall on the overpass.
San Antonio police looking for a man who shot his neighbor last night. They say the 29-year-old victim was shot after answering a knock at the door. This was in the Oak Meadow Villas on Rigsby. According to SAPD, the two men had an ongoing dispute, but they're not quite sure what led to yesterday's shooting. The victim taken to the hospital and at last check was in stable condition. Turning now to the mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. We're learning about the 10 victims killed when the alleged shooter, 18-year-old Peyton Gendron, opened fire at the Tops supermarket. Investigators believe it was all part of a well-thought-out hate crime. They say on Saturday, Gendron stormed into the supermarket with an AR-15 style rifle and opened fire. He'd already fired shots in the parking lot. One of the survivor's mothers says that her son fell victim by doing a good deed.
He was helping an older woman in the parking lot with the cart.
We're not just hurting, we're angry, we're mad. This shouldn't have happened.
Since Saturday, we have learned that Gendron was investigated just last June after he threatened a shooting at his hometown's high school graduation. He was evaluated for his mental health, but charges were never filed. Right now, investigators are still looking into social media posts from Gendron, where he shares racist and anti-Semitic rhetoric. It's part of the reason they're calling this a hate crime.
Now to a safety alert that impacts your infants and how they sleep. Today, President Joe Biden signing into law the Safe Sleep for Babies Act of 2021. It prohibits the sale of crib bumper pads and inclined sleepers for infants. The inclined sleepers have been linked to more than 200 deaths, and for years, the American Academy of Pediatrics has advised against using them because of the increased risk of suffocation and sleep-related infant deaths. The ban does not include mesh bumper, unpadded, or mesh crib liners. The law goes into effect in 6 months, but parents are urged to stop using those products now. A reminder, infants should only sleep alone on their back on a firm, flat surface.
All eyes on Congress right now as they are set this week to take on a few bills that are aimed at increasing the baby formula supply in the U.S. It comes as millions of families grow more and more panicked, hunting for formula through months of a shortage. One bill they're working on will allow for emergency funding for the U.S. to purchase baby formula from FDA-approved facilities abroad. A second bill would expand formula access for people receiving government assistance. All of it stemming from the FDA shutting down the nation's largest formula plant back in February to investigate a potential environmental bacteria, but none was found.
Back here at home, a reminder today is the last day to appeal your property taxes. The deadline at midnight if you plan to postmark your appeal. The easiest way to do it is online, though. The website is bcad.org. Then select Online Portal from the Online Services drop-down menu. If you plan to mail your completed protest form, the address is 411 North Frio, P.O. Box 830-248, San Antonio, Texas 78283.
Starting today, early voting is open for the March primary runoff election. Now, voters are going to be narrowing down party candidates on a number of elections, including Bexar County Judge, Attorney General, Land and Railroad Commissioners. Early voting running through May 20th. Election Day is May 24th.
And let's take a live look outside to check on that Monday afternoon commute. We are looking there at 90 West and Zarzamora. Everything seems to be zipping along just fine out there. We'll let you know if we encounter any problems.
Zipping along as our temperature's been zipping upward throughout the day today rather rapidly. Actually, that says 78. That should say 97. That hasn't updated yet in our system from the morning climate report, but 97 is what we've hit so far for our high temperature in San Antonio, officially at the airport. So we've tied the record high temperature so far today. We could still gain a degree or so over the next hour. So I'll have a full update at 6 o'clock. 103 Del Rio, Eagle Pass 100, Floresville 98 degrees. We are feeling the heat, still very summer-like. We'll talk about record-challenging warmth, then a weak little cold front that pays us a visit and how that affects our temperatures in a bit. Ursula.
Thank you, Adam. The San Antonio Book Festival returns this weekend. It is the 10th year to celebrate ideas and books and literary culture.
And one of the featured authors is a San Antonio man whose first published work centers around a mother and daughter at the Texas-Mexico border.
Alicia Barrera spoke with Racino on why he hopes children of all backgrounds give his book a chance.
Mama tells me we have a long way to walk.
Inside The Notebook Keeper, a story of kindness from the border, are illustrations of families with big dreams and even bigger struggles ahead of them in an unfamiliar place.
The streets are unsafe. We are leaving too. Our home is no longer a home. Have faith, mi vida, Mama says.
Stephen Briseño writes the fictional story of two refugees, Noemi and her mother, and their journey to reach the American dream.
The whole point of her journey is that she learns to spread kindness no matter where she is, even in the darkest of places.
But the focus is also a notebook with hundreds of names inside and the person in charge of the notebook.
Yes, it's about a real event that happened at the San Isidro border checkpoint in Tijuana. The border officials would say, okay, we can see 50 people today or 60 people, and the notebook keeper would call the next person's or set of people in line.
He hopes adults see past the politics and allow their children to, at least for a second, step into the shoes of refugees like Noemi.
And we lose the fact that there are real human beings involved. And I think that parents that would really see, like, what is it like for someone to go through that?
The Notebook Keeper is already available for pre-order anywhere books are sold. But it will be this Saturday at 2 p.m. that attendees for the San Antonio Book Festival will have a chance to meet the author. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead at 5, summer's coming. Well, it kind of feels like it already. But if you're planning a vacation, we have a warning. With all the new ways to book a getaway, you need to read the fine print. Up next, what you need to look for to avoid surprises.
Hi there, I'm Myra Arthur here in the KSAT newsroom. Tonight we're talking about the dangers of fentanyl. Overdose deaths have hit their highest record ever in the U.S. That's the latest from the CDC, and it is something that we're seeing here in San Antonio. Courtney Friedman talks with DEA agents about how dealers are targeting kids online. Plus, a voter-approved job training and education program is opening up enrollment. How many San Antonians the city wants to put through this program, and what kinds of jobs you could train for. That and more. Plus, a new KSAT Explains coming up at 6.
Thank you so much, Myra. As you're booking your summer vacations, we have a warning about unexpected fees. It's very popular to book a getaway at a house or a cabin listed in third-party travel site, but The fine print might not be so fun. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz tells us one woman's surprise and what you should be aware of.
It's a summer tradition for Dana Hickman and her extended family. They all meet up to enjoy vacation. This year, Dana used Vrbo to book a big cabin in Oklahoma.
So I booked it, I pressed the book, and then immediately I got an email. It had a whole list of different fees from what I paid on Vrbo.
On Vrbo, the charges showed what she expected, the nightly fee plus Vrbo's fee of $581. But then her email and credit card showed an additional unexpected charge from the host of more than $1,200.
I was absolutely shocked. In Vrbo, when you push the checkout button, it doesn't say this is a quote, it may change.
Vrbo blames the host and the host blames Vrbo for not updating their fees on the site. But a consumer attorney says Vrbo could be in violation of Texas's Deceptive Trade Practices Act. And there are other possible snags with third-party bookings. Travel advisor Heather Keller says, take the word refundable.
If it is refundable, a lot of times it's in the form of a credit that can only be used through that website.
And what you book may not be what you get.
There's no vetting other than a technical verified address, but it's not really a verified address. It's verified that that address does in fact exist. They're not going and looking at the pictures that are submitted.
And hosts may suddenly cancel.
The owner has the ability to cancel the reservation. And when they realize that rates are skyrocketing and availability is limited, but maybe you made your reservation at a little bit lower rate, they cancel the reservation so that they can then rebook it at a higher rate for a new guest.
As for Dana, Vrbo did refund her money because of the confusion, and they're working with the cabin owner to be sure that fees are accurate. Also, Dana got her $1,200 back by disputing it through her credit card. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Another hot one out there as we take a live look outside with live cam, 98 degrees. Adam, this weekend, Katie was telling us about the records we were breaking. I got a sneak peek of your forecast. It looks like more records possibly will fall.
Oh, I do think tomorrow we'll have another record fall. Today, so far, we've tied the record high temperature officially by making it to 97 at the airport, but we could still tack on a degree or two over the next hour, hour and a half. So the summer-like heat continues. To put it in perspective, the average high in August, which climatologically is the hottest point of the year for us, is 97 degrees. I mean, that's where we've been, give or take a few, for several days now. More record highs possible, then a little cold front, a weak cold front is likely this weekend. We'll talk about the impact that'll have on temperatures and how much relief it'll bring in just a moment. First, you look outside, officially 97 degrees. Here's the key, though. Dew point at 58, the typical pattern where the morning humidity drops off in the afternoon. In turn, you calculate the heat index, and it's actually 1 degree lower than the actual air temperature. So we'll see that pattern the next several days here, the rest of this week, where the afternoon dew points fall off and heat indices aren't going to be out of control. Cotulla now, 103. Eagle Pass officially 104. Del Rio, 102. Fredericksburg, 94 degrees. On the south side of San Antonio, Stinson Airport, 102. Pleasanton, 101. You get the idea. Still feels like summer out there. Doesn't feel like May. Our May has been well above average. We'll actually take a look at that and how much above average coming up at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, plan for temperatures upper 60s to lower 70s. So we'll call it right around 70 degrees. 71 Converse, Hiloto 68, and 68 Canyon Lake tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, we do this all over again. Upper 90s, right near the century mark for high temperatures. So Castroville, Devine, Hondo, 102, Uvalde, 103, New Braunfels, 99, Canyon Lake, 98, and Bernie, 97, the high temperature. Now, talking about the high temperature trend here, tomorrow the record high is 97. I think we'll make it to 98 or 99. And then we'll be just a degree or so shy of the record on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Watch what happens. A cold front's likely to hit, a cool front, whatever you want to call it. It's a weak one, and it's going to hit late Saturday, and that's going to then drop our temperatures for Sunday and Monday. We could actually get down into the 80s for highs. The average high is 87. I'm thinking that's about where we'll be by Sunday and Monday. So big changes expected with that, and some cooler mornings too. Not a lot of activity out there across the state. You have to head to basically the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and New England for any real active and severe weather. This evening, warm, increasing humidity. I know we have a lack of humidity now, but it's going to be rising. Temperatures falling through the 90s, then 80s. And tomorrow morning, we'll start the day at 70. By the noon hour, 88 and sunny. And then a high temperature of 98 degrees and a few slight chances of rain Friday into the weekend. Only 10 to 20% with that cold front.
Makes you want to be inside a big, cold gym.
Or studio.
Or studio.
Only 4 teams left.
Or AT&T Center.
Exactly.
Only 4 teams left, Greg, in the NBA.
Yeah, and 2 Game 7s yesterday decided a major surprise. When we come back, the NBA's Final Four is set. We'll let you know who took one step closer because there was exactly one big upset coming up. The NBA playoffs are down to the Final Four. That's after 2 Game 7s decided who's going to the Western and Eastern Conference Finals, and one of them a huge surprise. The Dallas Mavericks shocked the Suns in Phoenix after both teams had won on their own home floors throughout this series until last night. Luka Doncic caught fire early, hitting his first 3 baskets, including 2 3-pointers. The Mavs never looked back. They outscored the Suns 27-17 in the first quarter, 30-10 in the second, and the Suns never recovered from a 57-27 deficit at halftime. Devin Booker struggled from the field, folding under the pressure, scoring only 11 points on 3 of 14 shooting. Right behind him was 37-year-old Chris Paul, who only scored 10 points and appears at this point in his career unable to win an NBA championship no matter what team he plays for. Doncic would finish with 35 points. He had help. Spencer Dinwiddie had 30 points of the 123-90 rout, and the Mavs will now face the Golden State Warriors starting on Wednesday in San Francisco in the Western Conference Finals.
The day you at least want a shot at it. You know, we was one of 16 teams in the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's a great regular season, but we didn't, reach our goal. So I don't think anything matters except for everybody just trying to get a little bit better for next season.
All right, the best of 7 series will start now Wednesday at 8 p.m. Meantime, the Boston Celtics, led by former Spur Ime Udoka, have eliminated the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks in their Game 7 on Sunday, despite the fact Giannis Antetokounmpo got off to a great start. He had 10 points in the first quarter, didn't let up in the second. He would wind up with 17 first-half points and the lead 37-32, but that's when Boston started to push back. Jason Tatum does a Manu for the lay-in. Check out the replay of the Euro step to tie it at 40. And off the miss by Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart is there for the follow slam, the lead at halftime 48-43. The turning point came in the third quarter when Grant Williams hits a trio of 3-pointers as Boston outscores Milwaukee 31-21 in the period. Williams would finish with a career playoff night and a game-high 27 points. That included 7 3-pointers. That was part of the Celtics' 22 3-pointers on the night, while the Bucks could only hit 4. The defending champs knocked out of the playoffs 109-81.
I told them let it fly. They're disrespecting you more tonight than earlier in the series, and that was the plan on him and other guys, and really shifting and making them try to beat us. And you saw it on the first one that he made, and then he missed a few and got a little hesitant, and I basically said, shoot the ball. Like, what else can you do?
That's right. And it's a battle between number 1 and number 2 to decide who the Eastern Conference champions will be and who gets to go to the NBA Finals. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Deshaun Watson with a meeting with the NFL. It's coming up at 6.
See what happens. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. We'll be right back.
Before we go, I want to let you know that there is a traffic trouble spot here near downtown. That's I-10 at the Y there, the fine silver curve that looks to be a stalled 18-wheeler already attached to a tow truck, hopefully getting it out of the way soon. So things a little slow right there.
Yeah, tough area. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.